Health professionals in Nigeria have called for improved testing and diagnosis for diabetes in order to bridge the awareness gap in the country. Diabetes is said to be caused by underlying risk factors like obesity and unhealthy lifestyle, and can also be hereditary, passed by parents to their offspring. In celebration of the 2023 World Diabetes Day, there is an intense call for access to diabetes care globally. Let's join Adeshawa Odushoga for more in this report.
Diabetes occurs in humans as a result of too much glucose found in the blood when the pancreas does not produce enough insulin or when the body cannot effectively use the insulin it produces. It is estimated that there are at least 11.2 million Nigerians, representing 6% of the population, living with diabetes. Just recently, many Nigerians got talking about the disease after popular Nollywood actor John Okafor, popularly known as Mr. Ibu, who had been diagnosed with diabetes, made an outcry on social media asking for help following reports that his leg may be amputated as his case grew even worse.
I have been down for so many weeks. All I am hoping is your prayers and assistance. I've been in the hospital since as I speak to you. I'm still lying down in the hospital. The medical director of this hospital said the best solution is, in case his new idea didn't work, the best idea is to cut off my leg.
One of the popular myths associated with diabetes disease is excess intake of sugar. But Dr. Chinasa Amadi, a public health physician, debunked this, highlighting other risk factors of diabetes.
You may not take sugar, but have diabetes. And because it's also a saturated fat problem, a trans fat problem, and before it even becomes a sugar problem. So it's not just the consumption of leaking of sugar. It's more holistic than that. If your diet is rich in saturated fats, your diet is rich in trans fats, then you're at risk for type 2 diabetes.
According to statistics, Pakistan, French Polynesia, and Kuwait are the countries leading with diabetes globally, with the least in the African region. But the World Health Organization says the low numbers in Africa can be attributed to low testing and failure to correctly diagnose the disease.
Because you are Black, your chances of being diabetic are higher. So being Black is a risk factor for type 2 diabetes. So between a Black person and a white person, a Black person is higher at risk. Why? It's just studies have shown that Black people, African Americans, Hispanics, Latino are at higher risk than Caucasians.
November 14 is set aside annually to celebrate World Diabetes Day in response to growing concerns about the escalating health threat posed by diabetes. The date marks the birthday of Sir Frederick Banting, who co-discovered insulin along with Charles Best in 1922. Adeshawa Odushoga reporting for News Central.
Liberians on Tuesday voted to decide whether to hand former football star George Weah a second term as president, despite a mixed record, or elect political veteran Joseph Boakai. Liberia's Election Commission chairperson Davidetta Lansana says vote counting has started after polls closed at 6 p.m. local time. The chairperson added that even though the elections went smoothly, she debunked rumors that fake ballot paper was discovered. Lansana further stated that collation of votes will begin on Wednesday at the Helen Johnson Sirleaf Ministerial Complex, while results will be announced later in the day.
The ruling party is panicking. They're trying to do all kind of things to take shortcuts, but we're not going to let them.
Shortcuts? What do you mean?
Trying to stop ballots, trying to pre-mark ballots. We hear about all of that, but we're not afraid.
Whoever Liberian people decide, we have made a choice, and then on the overall, Liberia will win bigly, because in Africa we observe several things, and then this is one of the peaceful ones we have observed in Africa.
So we need people to come and vote for the right for the country to be in peace. That things will be fine for us.
We want development. We want schools.
Well, first of all, I would like for us to commend the peace that we continue to see at all polling stations. We salute the Liberian people for that one aspect. Secondly, we are a little bit concerned on the turnout. It seems to be almost a third of what the first election was, but we think a third. But we think that by the time this thing comes to an end, we'll be able to make the right assessment.
It's to watch against the Continental Prime. We have more stories ahead, but not before this quick break. Johnbull, good evening once again.
Yes, good evening.
Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, we'll be with you shortly. Okay. Okay, what do you need him to do, please? Okay, Mr. Johnbull, kindly tilt your camera down towards your chest. Just bend it down towards your chest. The space above your head is too much. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Yes, okay. And then shift your chair to your... It's okay. It's okay, yes. All right, that's fine. Thank you. Guys, is it okay? Nigeria's Inspector General Police Kayode Egbetokun has praised the dedication and diligence of police officers, military personnel, and other security operatives in ensuring the smooth conduct of elections in Bayelsa, Imo, and Kogi states. Nigeria's Inspector General, in a statement, commended the commitment displayed by security personnel, highlighting their role in maintaining law and order and safeguarding the electoral process and ensuring safety of citizens. Well, we have a legal practitioner and member of the Local Government Service Commission, Johnbull Azibataman. He joins us from Bayelsa State to look at some of the issues developing from the up-cycle elections in Nigeria, particularly in Bayelsa State. Johnbull, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome.
What is your assessment of the just concluded off-season governorship elections in Bayelsa State? You were on the ground, and also you can talk about Imo and Kogi states.
Thank you for having me, and good evening, Nigerians. I think that I'm in a position to talk about the off-cycle election that took place in Bayelsa State because I was on ground there. I was at my community in Makalakala, Ward 11, in Ogbia local government area of the state. And from what I saw on that morning of the election, polling started quite early as 7:30 a.m. Materials were deployed to the various polling units. and voting started at about 8:30 a.m. It was generally peaceful. From my findings as to what happened in other wards and local government in the states, I think that I can beat my chest to say that substantially the process was very peaceful, except for Tron in Brass local government area of the state, where we had an incident of a member of the PDP stabbed by a member of the APC allegedly. And I think that from the reports we had yesterday, the young man has died. But for that incident, and another incident at Basambri in Nembe local government area of the state, where members of the PDP were denied entry into Basambri to exercise their franchise in line with the provisions of the Constitution. Aside these two incidences at Brass and Nembe, every other local government was generally peaceful. There was no incident of malpractices recorded. And so substantially, I think that
All right.
compared to what we've had in the past, I can tell you that the election was credible, was fair, and was substantially peaceful.
All right. Interesting, Johnbull. What role would you say the Independent National Electoral Commission and security agents or agencies played in ensuring that election moved smoothly or ensuring it had the outcome that it had? How do you assess their conduct during the election?
Yes, I think that in the build-up to the elections in the state, there was this anxiety. People expressed fears as to the neutrality of the security agencies that will be on ground to ensure a peaceful conduct of the election, particularly in view of the fact that the federal government is being led by the APC, the opposition party in the state. And so a lot of Bayelsans were of the view that military personnel will be deployed to the state in favor of a particular candidate and a particular political party. But I think that what we saw was the opposite of those expressions. To be fair to the agencies, security agencies, their conducts were very good. I mean, we saw neutrality. For example, in my ward, we were escorting election results to the Iraq Center, and we were stopped by the military, and they told us categorically that, look, they don't want to know whether it's PDP or APC. What they're after is to maintain peace. And so we should just go and submit the results and go back to our homes, and that the results will be announced, will reflect what we voted at the polling units. And so even in other areas like Sagbama and Brass local government and all that, the reports were that the security agencies were on top of the game. And so I want to give them a pass mark. As for the commission, I think that the only concern we had was the voting in Basambri, in Nembe local government area, where 24,000 votes were cancelled by the commission, the INEC. That is to say that something went wrong at the level of the polling units.
All right.
And so that is to also say that those who conducted the elections at that level were compromised. But aside that, I think that INEC did their best, and their best was loud enough, and we really appreciate, as a state, what they did.
Quite interesting, analysis and observation from you. Johnbull, Azibataman, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.